Jafora Fox, let's talk business. And let's turn it up a notch. It's your time to shine with Jafora Fox. It's all coming together. Just keep your eyes on God and tune in. And let's talk with Jafora Fox. Hey, Jafora Fox. Jafora Fox.
Hello. God bless you, and thank you so much for joining. I am Dr. Jafora Fox, and I am so excited. I'm so excited that you are joining me. So say hello, and let me know that you are joining me. Say hello. Thank you to my YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn audience. And just let me know that you can hear me. Hello. Can you hear me? Beautiful people, can you hear me? If you are watching from YouTube, say hello. Hello. God bless you. Say hello and thank you so much. Good evening. Elder Justine, can you hear me okay? God bless you, and thank you so much. Good evening. Hello, joining in on Instagram. God bless you. Thank you for joining in, Dr. T. Laws and Cherie. Thank you. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. And to my LinkedIn audience, thank you. YouTube, just let me know, Elder Justine, if you can give me some thumbs up, that would be awesome, just to let me know that you can hear me okay. It showed something different on my end. Hello. Thank you so much. You're welcome. God bless you. Thank you. And yes, awesome. Thank you. Yes, hello. I am so excited, you all. I'm so excited about the show tonight. The episode, Proof of Work, How I Turn Emotional Overload into Clarity. And if you feel overwhelmed, stuck, or emotionally heavy right now, you don't need more motivation. You need clarity. And today you need clarity. And I'm going to show you exactly how clarity is created step by step. So welcome back to the Jafora Fox Show. I am Dr. Jafora Fox. Today is a proof of work episode, meaning I'm not just talking about transformation. I'm going to demonstrate the process I use to help people move from overload to grounded direction. And if you've been carrying too much, feeling unclear, or second guessing yourself, stay with me because you're leaving. Because you're leaving this episode with clarity and direction to reset your thinking. How exciting is that? You won't leave this episode without having those steps. So get ready, and have your pen and paper ready to take these notes. Yes, that is this kind of night of the show. I am just so excited to be able to share this with you, because some of you may feel overloaded. And so most high capacity people don't have an information problem. They have an overload problem. Your brain is running too many tabs, responsibility, discussions, decisions, relationships, expectations, and you can't think clearly because your system is trying to survive, not strategize. So the first thing we're going to do is stop treating overwhelm like a personality flaw. It's a signal. And I'm going to have 3 leadership reset phases. 3. 1, 2, 3. So are we ready to dive in? Are we ready to dive in to these leadership reset phases? Hello, Brenda. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Thank you all so much. If you would share with your friends and family on the platform that you are on, tag them, send them a text message, let them know that Jafora Fox show is on. And I'm talking about the reset. I'm talking about clarity and direction. We need clarity and direction in our life. I tell you, it is much easier to navigate life with clarity and direction. So, again, the show topic, proof of work, how I turn emotional overload into clarity. And so, the first thing is the diagnostic listening. What's really happening beneath the surface? That's the listening that we need to do. What is actually happening there? So, as I said, grab a pen, write this question. What feels heavy right now, and what is it costing me? That's the question. What feels heavy right now, and what is it costing me? What is that situation and that heaviness? What is that costing you? And so I want you to pause. Whatever you came up with, whatever came to your mind, don't edit that. Don't try to rationalize with it. Don't try anything with that, because that's what's important. We have to know what it is that's causing us to be heavy. And we have to know, what is that costing me in this heaviness? And so I want to guide you with some questions that you can take down. You can come back and watch the replay. But what is the heaviest relationship dynamic on your mind? And what decisions have you been avoiding? A couple more prompts for you. Questions. Where do you feel responsible for something that isn't sustainable? What keeps looping in your head at night? These are some important questions that you want to ask when we talk about emotional overload. And when I hear those questions, your answers to those questions, what I hear is patterns. And that's what I want you to hear, the pattern that is in this situation. And that's what I'm listening for. When someone answers these questions, patterns, because not stories, but patterns. Stories tell me what happened. Patterns tell me what keeps happening. So when you're dealing with other people, you want to notice their pattern, not just what they're saying, but the pattern. And a story is the event. A pattern is the role you constantly play when the responsibility you continually carry, or the emotional response that repeatedly appears. Pattern. When people are overloaded, they often give me a lot of details about who said what when it happened, and why it wasn't easy. And all of that does matter. But clarity doesn't come from retelling the story. Clarity comes from identifying the pattern underneath it. And this is extremely powerful, because once you see the pattern, over responsibility, avoidance, people pleasing, self-doubt, emotional suppression, the situation becomes much lighter. I'm going to put that on the screen so you can see those things there, patterns, over responsibility. Do you have a pattern of that? Conflict avoidance, a disguise as peace, performance-based identity, emotional suppression, high output, carrying other people's expectations as obligations. Those are patterns. Because patterns can be addressed. Stories keep you stuck in reaction. You have to address the patterns. And that's why I always listen to patterns. That's where clarity lives. So I want you, and I put that information on the screen, to just choose 3. You can write it down, 3 to 5 patterns. If you can identify with patterns, in your life that you continue to do to find yourself overwhelmed, you're giving out too much, you may be people pleasing, you're disguising conflict as peace because and you avoid that so that you don't have to deal with those situations. And sometimes when we're emotional overload, we may react. You want to take the time to pause, because if you can name the pattern, you can change the pattern. If you stay stuck in the story, you stay stuck in the cycle. Have you been in a space where you kept playing that story over and over and over and over in your mind? You got to name what's going on, because you can't deal with what you don't address. And that's the first thing that I talked about, was that diagnostic listening. And then I'm going to move to reset and reframe, because that's extremely important. The reset, reframe, as a matter of fact, all of this is what are you carrying that isn't yours? What's misaligned? Because we carry things that don't belong to us. So I want you to take the time, write this down: mine versus not mine, plus remove guilt. Got to remove the guilt from that. Mine, not mine. So there's that column. Column A is mine. Column B is not mine. Then I want you also to remove the guilt. Create those columns, because this is important. Mine versus not mine, because we take on things that don't belong to us. And in mine, what is truly yours to manage: your choices, your boundaries, your communication, your integrity, your next steps. And in column B is other people's reactions, their emotions, their timing, their approval, and their disappointment, because you can't manage anyone else's emotions. You can't manage their timing, their approval, their disappointments. You can't take that on. And clarity returns when you stop carrying what isn't assigned to you. God didn't assign that to you. And you're overloaded because you're taking on things that were not assigned to you. And so if you're feeling in a space of overload, I want you to write down and be honest. What's mine and what is it am I carrying that's not mine? And so ask yourself, if I stop over carrying this, whatever that is, what would become immediately easier? If I stop carrying the weight and the load of other people and I take the time for myself, it's going to help you with the emotional overload. We kind of get stuck there because we are constantly, taking on stuff that don't belong to us, that belongs to someone else. And it's hard to move away from that space, but you want to live a life, the remainder of your life, not in emotional overload. You can do what's best for you, and it's not selfish. You can put yourself first, and it's not selfish. And so notice I didn't say what would disappear. I said what would become easier. It's not going to, go away. If it's a person, if it's a thing, whatever it is, it's not going to disappear, but it will become easier when you begin to operate in mine versus not mine. And overcarrying doesn't usually create the problem. It adds to the weight. And you keep piling the weight on, taking on stuff that, don't belong to you. And we do that out of a place of guilt. That's why I say remove the guilt when you are from mine versus not mine. And when you imagine releasing what your body isn't yours to carry, you'll often notice your body relaxing before your mind catches up. That's clarity signaling where relief lives. You want relief in this season of your life. You don't want to be in a space where you're carrying things that God did not intend for you to carry, or that you shouldn't be carrying. And then we have the direction and next steps. because you have to have direction and next steps. Now, I just want to provide you with a simple next step plan: one decision, one boundary, one action, because you don't want to try to do everything all at once. Just direction and next steps. One decision, one boundary, and one action. And I'm going to give you some actions that this is for me, this is mine. So I just want to be the example. And so now we're going to turn insight into direction. And I'm going to put this up so you will have this as well. And it's the next step. So you remember, it is the decision, the boundary, and the next step. You know, boundaries are very important in emotional overload. Boundaries, hard to set boundaries, but you have to. The decision, I've been delaying. The boundary, I need to reinforce. And the next step I will take in the next 48 hours. And so my decision, what I'm saying to you, example, is I'm moving forward with this offer. I'm ending this drain. I'm choosing clarity. And a boundary example is I'm not available for last minute demands. I'm not explaining my price. Next step examples, I'll publish the offer. I'll send the email, I'll book the session, and I'm going to keep moving. And so for me, the next step should be clear, not dramatic, clean, not chaotic. And I move in that flow right there. I'm moving in that flow. Again, I said it's decisions, boundary, next steps. Because when you're doing stuff, if you think about it too long, you'll talk yourself out of it. And this is, for me, is from a business perspective. These examples that I gave you, business. This is what the offer is. The price is the price. I'm ending the drain. I'm choosing clarity. I'm not in a space to no longer be doing that, right? Providing clarity and doing what I do. God has, and I'm thankful, gifted me to be able to provide insight and clarity to people. I don't need, all of the details, with my prophetic insight and my lived experiences, my education, my research, all of the things that God has given to me, I can do that. I can help people to be able to live in a space where they're not emotionally overloaded, but it takes the person to do the work. And this is faith plus psychology, right? We do our lives, especially from a spiritual perspective, we do what we call spiritual bypassing. We put God on to everything, right? Which is good because we trust and believe God. But faith without works is dead, which means that we have a responsibility to do our part. It's not just going to drop out the sky. You're going to have to do the hard part. You have to make decisions. You have to set the boundaries. You have to do that. Take the next steps. And definitely it's not easy, but it's well worth it. And when you're doing something, you should feel clear about it. Your spirit should feel clear. It's not dramatic. It's clean. It's not chaotic. You shouldn't be doing things in your life that creates that is dramatic and that it is chaotic. And so if this exercise helped you, imagine what happens when we do it with your full context, your patterns, your pressure, your decisions, and you leave with a personalized direction you can trust. And that's what the clarity and direction call is for you to be able to provide that, the full context, the patterns that you have, the pressure, your decisions, and you will be able to move forward in doing what it is that you are needing to do in this season. Yes, a new year is upon us, but it'll be a new year with the same you if you don't make the necessary changes in your life to do what needs to be done, whether it's personally, whether it's in your business, at home, on your job, in relationships. If you don't do the necessary work to make the changes, it won't change. And so invest in yourself, invest in you. The clarity and decision call, the price is on the screen. Invest in yourself. There's nothing, another item I believe that you need to buy for yourself or really for anyone else until you have invested in yourself and you have taken the time to really work through what it is you need to help you so that 2026 you can have a clear direction. You can have a clear strategy on what it is that you need to do for the next season of your life in 2026. And so after you submit your payment, you will receive a clarity and direction intake form. Answer that honestly, because this will enable the call and the session to have a lasting impact. And then once we talk, can see if you need something further to continue to help you to make sure that you stay in that space. You will receive clear, concrete instructions that will help you do what you need to do and how you can proceed. You want to go into 2026 different. You don't want to do the same things. You don't want to continue to be overloaded and frustrated and not moving into place in the assignment that God has for you. And so once we go through that, I promise you're going to see when you complete that intake form, I'll be able to clearly give you a roadmap for what it is that you need for that clarity and direction that you're looking for. And if I see that there is something else, another program that you need, I can recommend that. And whatever you've paid, I'll deduct that from what you already paid if you want to move forward with another program. But invest in yourself. If you know someone else that may need this or is interested, that need to have clarity and direction in their life, please share it. On the screen, there is a QR code. You can scan that QR code. That'll take them directly to, my website, the information that they need. Everything is right there. And so if you're ready for that level of clarity, you can book using the link that I explained to you already. That's there on the screen. Hello, Dr. Laws. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it, but make sure that you do tune in from time to time. I appreciate that here on Instagram, LinkedIn. Thank you all so much. And YouTube, make sure you're sharing. It's not going to be shown on Facebook. These are the platforms that I'm using, right now, building up YouTube. So also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And have others to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I want to leave you with this. Feeling overwhelmed doesn't mean you're failing. It usually means you've been carrying too much for too long. Clarity isn't something you wait for. It's something you create. And today you just practice that. If you took those notes down, you can go back and look at that. You can go back and read over that. Let that marinate with you. And I want you to stay tuned for the next show will take place on Tuesday, December 23rd at 7 p.m. due to, the holiday. I'll be on Tuesday. I won't be before you long in doing and having the show and what needs to be said and what I have to say. It's time to be about what God has called for us to do and to be with clarity, not overwhelmed. And so again, the show will be Tuesday, and the topic for next week is a series of just moving forward with each time frame as far as building on what you're trying to do, because it is very complicated. It is not comfortable when we have to set boundaries, when we have to say no to people, when we have to make sure that we are looking out for oneself, when we have to communicate things that are difficult. It's not easy, but I can promise you it's definitely worth it. And so next week's show on Tuesday, don't forget, is the show topic, proof of work why clarity still feels uncomfortable, and what that tells you, because you will be uncomfortable in receiving clarity. And so that's the next week's topic for you. And again, as I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate you taking out the time. So thank you so much for the ones that are joining on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, not Facebook. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're watching now or on the replay, thank you so much again for joining in. And this is Dr. Jafora Fox. Yes, that's me. And you've been listening to the Jafora Fox Show. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who's carrying too much. And if you're already and you're ready to reset with me privately, book your clarity and direction call. And as I said, it is on the screen for you to be able to do that. And have a peaceful night. And I thank you all so much. I'll check in with some of that. Thank you, Elder Justine. I appreciate that. Thank you, Brenda, for sharing. And hello to you. God bless you both for, joining in, and others who are joining in who didn't, say hello, or you may be watching on the replay. And so I thank you all so much for tuning in, and have a peaceful night. God bless you. God loves you. And I love you too. God bless.
Jafora Fox, let's talk business. And let's turn it up a notch. It's your time to shine with Jafora.